everybody. Welcome to That Expert Show, where you help run the show. I'm Anna Canzano. Thank you so much for joining us today. I have been wanting to do this topic of mompreneurs for quite some time now because this is something that's just really personal to my own life. You know, when I became a mom, I wanted more autonomy over my own schedule. I wanted to be able to do my own thing and not have to work for somebody else. And you know, that's really the dream for many of us, is to have that flexibility, but it also needs to be able to work for your family and your income and keeping a roof over your head and food on the table. So how does that all work, and what are the tricks to making it successful? Because it can be a little bit tricky, I think. There's a lot of nuances to being a mompreneur, even the term itself. We'll talk about that a little bit on the show today. We'll be talking with a woman who has managed to find success in this arena. She is a wife and a mom of 4. She spent 18 years gaining experience in the cosmetics and makeup artistry field. She spent the last 11 years building her own business in network marketing. She has thousands of clients, more than 300 consultant partners, and we'll talk to her about what that means because I'm not actually sure. And she's currently at the top level of leadership within her company, which is so exciting. So joining us now live from Florida, where she has just moved within the last month or two, is Stephanie Warren. Stephanie, thank you so much for being with us.
Hi, hello Anna, everybody, hello.
Hi.
Yes, it's a beautiful day here.
Yeah, it's amazing to track your personal story because, I think that's where I want to begin. You began going into this network marketing field more than a decade ago, and it's really you've become the breadwinner of your family.
Yes, yeah, you know what, yes, 11 years ago, a friend shared some amazing products with me. And at the time, I absolutely was not looking for anything like this. I kind of had a preconceived idea of what these businesses were like. And I did not think that this would check the boxes that I was looking for. I was staying at home with my 4 littles. They were all under the age of 10 at the time. And, you know, living the American dream, right? When I resigned my position in cosmetics, I was working for a corporate large international cosmetics company. When I resigned my position to be home with my kids, which really was my heart, I wanted to be present, fully present with my family, my kids. When that happened, half of our income went away. And we thought that, gosh, we'll make it work. We'll cut corners. We'll, you know, not go on big trips, not have fancy cars, and we'll make it work. And when we made that change, things got so incredibly stressful for our family because of a multitude of different reasons. It was timing, it was things going on in our world, it was some financial collapses happening all around us, and things got very stressful very fast for our family. And although we were living the dream that I always dreamed of when I had children, it wasn't necessarily the dream from the inside. So when I put my head down on the pillow at night, there was a lot of stress going on in my mind. There was a lot of fear about what would be happening, you know, 5 years from now. Would we be in any better position, or would it be even harder to be getting by? And so, you know, that was a tough way to live. That's, I don't think, where anybody wants to live. It's definitely not where I feel like I was created to live, in that place of lack and scarcity. But, you know, we didn't have a lot of options. I definitely wasn't willing to go back to work full time anywhere. It just wasn't an option for us. And so a friend brought some products over. She said, please try these. And honestly, I really did not have much interest at all in the product or the company or the business opportunity. However, I did really enjoy the products she shared with me. And after a little while of trying them and considering, you know, this process of what does this really look like, I was kind of kicking the tires, so to speak, and wondering what this was all about. I agreed to sit down with her, and I said, look, just tell me the whole thing. Tell me what this looks like. Tell me, you know, what it would look like to do this business. And once I've checked this out, and I know that it doesn't fit for us, I'm going to be able to say no and don't ask me again. And she said, fine, let's do that. So we went to lunch, and she kind of laid out a few things about why she thought this was so smart. And a really interesting thing happened at that lunch. I arrived at that lunch sure that this wasn't for me. that network marketing was one of those things that, I'd lose all my friends and people would run away from me when they saw me coming. And, I'd have to be that crazy person. That's what I had in my mind. I also had this image of carrying a bunch of products in my trunk and somehow going door to door asking people if they wanted to try something. Uh, and so that's what I had in my mind. That's what I pictured. And when she kind of shared with me what this actually looks like, what you can build with something like this in today's world because of the web and being, able to do business anywhere on the globe, it was very intriguing. And so even though I went to that lunch with very little hope that this could be what we had kind of really been waiting for and praying for our family, I left that lunch with, for the first time in a very long time, a little spark of hope in my heart that what if this could work for us? What if this could change everything? And so that's what started my journey, Anna.
That's so fascinating because, and that social aspect that you bring up is something that a lot of people were posting about online, because I posted in advance, as I always do, of this episode about the
Yeah.
topic we would be discussing. And that was one of the key questions is, how do you manage the awkwardness of turning your social circle, your friends or your acquaintances or family and extended family, into potential customers? Because naturally with something like this, those are your first customers. And have you lost friends, or what advice do you have for people to not alienate their friends in this process?
Yeah. And I think that's everybody's fear. That's the number one thing that I hear from people when I tell them about this business. And it's one of the number one fears that I had when I started the business. I'm positive that there isn't a single top leader in any network marketing company anywhere that didn't start their business with this fear. And so what you have to do to get through that is to rely on great coaching, somebody who's been further down the road than you are, who can share what works and also share what really doesn't work. That's very important. We really don't want you to go burn all your bridges and blah, we call it vomiting all over people, because you're excited. You're excited about this new opportunity and you want to share it. However, people you're sharing it with aren't always excited as you are. And so just good coaching about how do you get started? What do you say? What does that look like? And so most companies, mine included, have a system, a getting started system, and we teach everybody the same thing to do, do this, don't do that. And so, I find, Anna, that if you really think about it, when you're excited and passionate about something, anything, you probably share it. At least that's true for most women. So we just love to share things. If we found a brand new mascara that we absolutely loved, we'd be telling our 3 best friends, you've got to go try this mascara. It's amazing. If we go to a really great restaurant, we'll probably share that with some friends. You've got to go try this restaurant we ate at on Friday night. It was amazing. Now, if you were the restaurant owner and you were the entrepreneur who'd spent your blood, sweat, and tears and who knows how long, getting this dream of having your own restaurant up and running, if you were that person, wouldn't you share the night of your grand opening? Wouldn't you share that with your closest friends and family? Wouldn't you invite them in to maybe have a meal, to experience the atmosphere, to enjoy the time there, right? And then would you ask them to come back and eat every single dinner at your restaurant every night? No, you wouldn't. But what you might do is say, hey, if you enjoyed your meal tonight, would you mind telling a couple friends about us? Would you mind sending them our way? And then would you come back and visit us from time to time when you feel like having it again? And I think when you think of sharing with people in that perspective, it kind of takes away some of those fears of like, oh my gosh, I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm too scared.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Now, the other aspect that people have questions about is, simply how do you evaluate different programs? Because as I did the research for this show, I didn't realize there were so many. I know the ones that my friends
Thousands.
have sold because they're the, LuLaRoe and I don't even know how to say their names, Rodon and Fields or something. That's a popular one. I think you're with Arbonne. So how do you evaluate if all of these programs are legit, or if any of them are legit? Actually, I should say, what are the red flags for a program that you might stay away from?
Yes. Well, as with any business, I'm an entrepreneur. I started a business. And even though I'm doing this from home around my family's schedule, it is still a business. And so you want to do your own due diligence about any opportunity that you're looking at. I think some of the key things are, first and foremost, do you really love the product that you're offering, whether it's a product or a service? Do you love it? Are you passionate about it? Do you believe in the mission behind that particular company? Because that's very important. You want to have authenticity and you want to be able to speak from a place of true passion and authenticity when you're sharing. So that's important. How long has the company been in business? I personally would be a little bit hesitant to start with a brand new startup or any company that is for sure younger than 5 years. In this particular profession, not very many companies make it to their 10-year anniversary, believe it or not. And so, something could be going really great for a while, and then something could happen, as does in business sometimes, and things could start to go south with your company. And so you want to, if you're going to be investing your time and your effort, invest it with a company that is stable, that has been in business a while, that has a product that is in demand. So you want to look at your marketplace and say, what are people shopping for? What are people wanting today? Is this a product or a service that someone would want? You want to, I think, have something that's consumable, because I think it's just smart business. If somebody absolutely loves their vegan protein shake, which so many of our clients do, if they love it, how long are they going to go without that protein shake in the morning? Not very long, right? So they're going to be online reordering that protein shake. And that over time is part of the brilliance of this model, is that over time your networks grow and more people are shopping online products that they love, right? And you continue to grow your business and your income as your networks grow. So it's important to think about what you're representing, what product, the time they've been in business, and then who the leadership is with that company. Know who the CEO is, who's running it, who is making the decisions from the corporate side, because that's important too.
That's wise advice. I want to thank folks who are watching, including Marco, who says that, yes, I network market for companies, one of which help pay for the other three. Interesting. Gina, who's watching, says it's all about sharing. People don't like to be sold to. So that's a delineation between sharing information about a product you're excited about or a company you're excited about versus being sold a company or product that you're excited about. On that topic, I want to mention a company that I actually love as well, Stephanie. It's Shoe Mill. It's a company here in Oregon. It's a great family-run business that actually spans 3 generations. So this is grandparents who started the company and their kids who extended the company, and now a 3rd generation of brothers who is now running the company, and they each have their own roles in it, and it's a fascinating organization. And what's great is that they have the most amazing shoes. Like, I was on my feet yesterday for a long time. I was at a toddler birthday party, a lot of standing, and I knew that I needed comfortable shoes to be in. So I wore my Shoe Mill shoes, and I was so happy about that at the end of the day. I'll tell folks at the end of this interview how to get a good deal courtesy of that expert show from the Shoe Mill. So you mentioned sharing about companies you're excited about. I just had to throw that in there real quick. One of the other questions that came in from people, this one was from an expert show insider who texted in a question about whether network marketing only works. Like, what is the actual structure? Do you only succeed if you have a bunch of people underneath you that you have recruited and they've gone on and recruited? Is that the only key to success, or is that the structure of how it succeeds?
There are so many different companies, as you mentioned, and there are so many different compensation plans. And so I really can't speak to all the different plans out there. I can give you a general understanding based on my experience. But so in this general profession, there's what's known as direct sales, and then there's what's known as network marketing, sometimes also called multi-level marketing. And so direct sales companies, their compensation plans are really based on your personal activities, your personal selling month to month to month. You don't get paid any commissions or maybe just a little bit of commissions on levels under you that come into the business. And so really that model is kind of, I think of it as being sort of like your own mobile store.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to earn commissions based on when you're out speaking with people, you're out doing events, you're sharing. That's when you're going to make the bulk of your commissions, is when you're doing that. Now, the network marketing model, which is the model that is how our compensation plan is based. If you want to grow a large network and really look at this as a career replacement income, as I did, you could certainly sell products to some friends and earn a few $100s a month. That's absolutely possible. But I was looking at something a little longer term, something that could grow into six figures, even into high six figures. And there are many multimillionaires because of this profession. And so I was looking more at something that could kind of really provide more for my family in that way. So the difference is I do get paid on levels in my business. And so what that means is, and I often explain it this way, I make an override commission, right, on as my network grows, as people are sharing with other people and they're helping them get started. My responsibility is to my team to help coach and train and nurture them to reach their goals and dreams. And so I only succeed when I help a lot of other people succeed. And I think that's a really beautiful model, a beautiful way to live your life, actually. So if you could find a way to live your life in your passions and also provide well for your family and have abundance and overflow to give bigger to the universe, isn't that amazing? How many opportunities are there out there where you could do all of that with your job, with your business? And so I think of it this way, and I often explain it this way. If I were the department manager, let's say I was the store manager of a Macy's, and all the people in the building in that particular Macy's work kind of under me, right? Under, there's that word. And it's my responsibility to train them, to make sure that we're staffed, to make sure that we're making our goals, to just kind of run that Macy's, right? Well, I'm not personally selling every single thing that's being sold in that Macy's. Right. However, I am being compensated based on the success of that store, right? And that is exactly how my business works. I am being compensated because of the time I put into coaching others and training others to do what I've done. Arbonne says, here's a little bit of commission because of the time you've spent to make sure they're successful. And I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's so interesting in people's minds. There's a lot of, there's some negativity, there's some haters out there, and I get that. This isn't for everybody. Absolutely not. Nor is anything for everybody. What you do, Anna, is not for everybody. But if this happens to be something that would serve you well and serve your family well, if you want the potential to build something that can be a legacy left for your family, build income around your own schedule, part-time, with very, very low startup costs, but a lot of elbow grease, because that's the difference. I had no money. I didn't have a lot of money to invest as I got started because we were in such desperate need. Yeah. However, what I did have was I had a lot of motivation, and I worked really hard. I knew that I could work hard at something if given the right tools and the right product and all of that. So does that answer kind of what you were asking, Anna?
It does. It touches on a little bit of the personal investment in this. Like, what have you seen based on your own experience, or what do you know about people who go into this, and whether people are going into debt to launch these businesses? Yeah. And do they earn that back, or do you? I guess the question is, do you see most people succeeding at this, or do you see most people trying it for a little bit, spending money on the venture, and then dropping out?
You know what? There are a lot of people that start this and quit. And there's a lot of people that quit a lot of things. And so I think, just to keep everything in perspective, I believe it's over 90% of real estate agents that get their licenses never sell a house. And over 90% of restaurants that get started aren't there 5 years later. And so this is no different. This is a real business that takes a lot of effort and time. You've got to learn your skills, build your skills, and give it enough time. And a lot of people, when they realize the consistency it's going to take, decide, I didn't realize it was actually network marketing. I thought it was net sign up and wait for my check marketing or something, so it's hard. It took me 6 years to get to the level that became life-changing income for us. 6 years, and I was earning income all along the way. However, it wasn't necessarily providing for my family. And so how many people would continue doing something and putting effort in for that long? And so, do you have to go in debt? Absolutely not. I don't recommend that. Again, every company is different. In our company, and I think in a lot of companies, you're looking at an investment of a startup investment of between $500 and $1,000. I don't see a need for it to be any more than that for the average person. Our company just lets you decide what is in your budget, and that is up to you. There are no rules around that. There are no requirements. Our particular company doesn't have a monthly maintenance requirement or anything like that. Every company is a little bit different. But what I did was I got to work. I invested just a couple $100. That's all we could afford. And then I got out sharing, and I started earning my commissions that way to continue to have what I needed to build my business, and then to have, my team begin to grow. So it should be, you should not have to go into debt. Now, everybody likes to do this a little bit differently. And so if you need to go into a little bit of debt, I don't know, a couple $1,000s or something, but then you're planning on earning that back right away, I guess that's something you could do. Yeah. But again, bringing it back to you, Anna, like when you started this business, you probably had some investment involved, I would imagine. I mean, I so admire and respect what you've done. We've known each other for a long time, and I've just thought that you were just brilliant in so many different ways, and so talented. And so this is so cool to watch you birth this new thing. And you and probably some financial investment, and may not have totally earned that back yet. Maybe you have, maybe you're killing it. But with any business, there's going to be some investment involved, but it definitely shouldn't be breaking you.
Well, there's definitely been some nerve-wracking times and a lot of discussions about the family budget and what we can afford to invest in this process. And yes, hopefully someday, we'll make it all back. And it gets back to your point, is that why I love doing this is that I feel like I'm putting good stuff out into the world. I'm putting good information out there, researched information that's not biased, which in this day and age is really hard to find. And I just feel like there's so many wise people out there with incredible experiences to share, and I feel like we can all benefit from these interviews in some way.
Absolutely. I love this idea.
I have to ask you because on Facebook, Jamie commented on the post about this show, and she says she loves the idea of women owning their own businesses and wants more of them and thinks the world needs more of them. But she questions the use of the term mompreneur because she says she actually hates that term. If you have a dad who owns a business, you don't call him a dadpreneur, you just call him a business owner. I wondered, do you have a feeling about that? Does that term bug you at all?
That's true, isn't it? You know what? Me in particular, I actually don't use that term mompreneur often or ever. I love the word entrepreneur. I absolutely love that word. That is something that has been in my heart really since childhood, even though I didn't really realize way back then what it was. But that dream, that desire to carve out my own space in this world, to have total choice and freedom about my days and where I'm spending my energy and who I'm investing that in. Gosh, I love, love, love entrepreneurship. I applaud all entrepreneurs like you. It is not easy. It is a hard road sometimes. I feel like there's a lot of options out there. There's a lot of different things you can do based on your passions. My particular feeling is really none of them, in my opinion, are better than network marketing if you really understand our model and you understand all the benefits of a business like this for you and your family. So it's entrepreneur versus mompreneur. Yeah, you're right. All dads, all moms, anybody can succeed in network marketing if you give it enough time and work hard, and delayed gratification is very important. For sure.
One question that came in also on Facebook was the sense of, when you share, and I've seen those posts where you're sharing about the trip to, some tropical place that you've won for yourself and your family, or the amazing car that you have earned because of the success that you've achieved within the company. Someone was asking whether it's true that sales reps are coached to falsely inflate that appearance of success to entice other people to join the program.
Well, gosh, I hope not. I hope not in our company, at least. You know what? There are bad apples in every single profession. And, unfortunately, that's how life is. I think by and large, the majority of people that are in network marketing are incredibly ethical, are doing this for all the right reasons, and just have a heart to serve. And so, we don't want anybody falsely inflating anything. We don't want anyone, making false claims about income or making false claims about product or, any kind of medical, if it solved a medical problem. We're not doctors. And so we just really, well, I'll just speak for me and my team. I really coach people to speak from the heart, from their own story. It's very important that you have a story around what you're sharing. So if you have a health product, as we do, share your own personal story, your journey with that product. How did it affect you personally? And be real about it. People can sense inauthenticity. They can sense fake. They can sense hype a mile away. And we don't want hype. We don't need hype. We actually are, the real honest truth about our product and about our business opportunity is enough. And not only is it enough, it's brilliant. So no, we do not coach people to do that. And hopefully you don't run into that too often. In today's world of social media, you can have posts that are sometimes, I don't know, I have to laugh sometimes. I'll be like, really? Because you're like, come on. Not from my own team, from others. I won't name names, but, just be careful because it does give everybody a bad name.
All right. Steph, any last thoughts before you go? And also wanted to thank Emily, Melody, and Rhonda, as well as Lara and Denise for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I know you've got to run because you've got to pick up your kids from school.
Speaking of being a mom.
I love
this. Well, I just have a couple quick things. If someone's looking at maybe doing this, do yourself a favor. At least go really dig deep into finding out everything there is to know about the opportunity. Just really know before you say no. But it can be totally life-changing for you the way it has been for us. It's changed everything about our whole life, really. It's allowed us to move where we wanted to move. We feel closest with God by the ocean, and we wanted more of it in our life. And so we were able to do that because of this opportunity and the freedom and the choices that it gave us. And I think really that's the definition of success, is more choice in your life day to day. I think you have to be hungry. This is not easy. It's not for everyone, but you have to be hungry. You have to want this, and you have to want it bad enough to push through the fears that stop most people. And like I said earlier, you got to be disciplined, and you have to know there's going to be some delayed gratification. It's not going to be an instant get rich quick. You kind of want to run from those. This is going to take a little bit of time to build, but once you get to that tipping point, there is nothing at all like this business in the whole world. I'm confident of that. So check it out. Change your life by being courageous and stepping into what's been presented to you as an opportunity. That would be my final word.
And do your homework.
And do your homework, absolutely.
All right, Steph, thanks so much to you. Congratulations on your success, and enjoy that sun in Florida. I think your new place is literally like steps from the beach, which is insane to me, and I'm so jealous and proud of you for making that happen for your family.
Thank you, Anna.
Thanks, Steph. All right, and thank you so much for joining us for this episode of That Expert Show. I hope it was helpful to you. I think she had some good advice to share. I would love to know your feedback on the show, so please leave a comment, give us a like if you got something out of this, and you can always connect with us on various social media platforms. You may be watching this on Facebook Live right now. We're also on Twitter and Instagram as That Expert Show. I know life is busy and you can't always see things live, so we put this out to you as a YouTube video as well on our YouTube channel, That Expert Show. And sometimes it's easier just to listen to content. So you can listen to this show on wherever you listen to podcasts, on Apple iTunes or Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, all those guys. We are on those platforms as well. And hey, just wanted to say the best way to connect with us is actually to text the show. Text to the number 474747, and it's just the one word, show, SHOW. You'll get the inside track on the experts that we'll be interviewing next, as well as whatever deals, special promotions our sponsors are offering through the show. You can also check out our website, thatexpertshow.com. Speaking of sponsors, we have an amazing sponsor, Shoe Mill. This is that terrific company, great service, great shoes, a great website as well to shop for shoes that you deserve to be in. I don't know that I always felt that way when I was younger. I would just plop down, $20 on a pair of shoes and I'd be happy with that. But now that, I'm getting up there, I want a better set of shoes. Like, I feel like I deserve to be comfortable walking around and chasing my kids and whatnot. So if you text that number in, the word show, to 474747, I'll show you how to get all of the expert show deals with shoemill.com. So I love that company and I love supporting that company. I'm grateful for their support as well. Hey, let me know what you think about this show. Again, give us a like or a review, help others find us, and join us for the next episode of That Expert Show, where you help run the show.